Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava, page 72b, at the top of the page, with the words De'i Slokadaitach Deraisa, as if it enters your mind that it is prohibited by Torah law that the Mishnah would be difficult. For as soon as he slaughtered the animal a bit at the very start of the act of slaughter, he has prohibited the animal with regard to deriving benefit as a non-sacred animal slaughtered in the temple courtyard. When he slaughters the other part, it is already prohibited with regard to deriving benefit, which means that it is not an animal that belongs to its owner that he slaughters. Rav Acha, son of Rava, said to Rav Havivi, "It is possible to explain the Mishnah, even according to the opinion that the halachic ramifications of slaughtering are in effect throughout the slaughter. And even if one maintains that it is prohibited by Torah law to benefit from non-sacred animals slaughtered in the temple, as when does the thief become obligated to pay the fourfold or fivefold payment as well? It is when he performs that first bit of slaughter in the beginning, before the animal becomes forbidden." Rav Ashi says to Rav Huna, "Do not dismiss Rav Chavivi's suggestion with this explanation. The verse, if a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughter it, Exodus 21:37, indicates that in order to impose liability to pay the fourfold or fivefold payment, we require that the thief slaughtered it completely. And after having slaughtered it just a bit, there is no complete slaughter yet." Rav Huna said to Rav Ashi, "But if you are correct, the mission is difficult." Rav Ashi says to Rav Huna, "This is what Rav Gamda said in the name of Rava. When does the Mishnah state that the thief is obligated to pay the fourfold or fivefold payment? It is in a case when the thief slaughtered part of the simanim outside the temple and finished slaughtering them inside the temple. Therefore, the animal became prohibited with regard to deriving benefit only at the final stage of slaughter, concomitant with the liability to pay the fourfold or fivefold payment." New Mishnah. Ganav al pi shnaim, v'tavach u'machar al pihen, v'nimtzu zomimim mashlimin hakol. If one stole an ox or sheep, as established based on the testimony of two witnesses, and he subsequently slaughtered the animal or sold it, based on the testimony of the same witnesses, and these witnesses are found to be conspiring witnesses, Eidem Zomin, these witnesses pay everything. In other words, not only the principal amount, but also the fourfold or fivefold payment. This is in accordance with the Torah's decree with regard to Eidem Zomin. You shall do to him as he conspired to do to his brother. Deuteronomy 19:19. Since these witnesses attempted to obligate the alleged thief to pay the fourfold or fivefold payment, they themselves must pay the full amount. With regard to one who stole an ox or a sheep, as established based on the testimony of two witnesses, and he subsequently slaughtered the animal and sold it, based on the testimony of two other witnesses, if both these witnesses and those witnesses were found to be conspiring witnesses, the first set of witnesses who testified about the theft of the animal pay the alleged thief the double payment, which is what they had conspired to cause him to pay, and the last set of witnesses who attested to the slaughter of the sale of the animal pay the alleged thief a twofold payment for a sheep and threefold for an ox, which they had conspired to cause him to pay over and above the double payment. If only the witnesses in the last set were found to be conspiring witnesses, while the testimony about the theft remains intact, the thief pays double payment to the animal's owner, and the second set of witnesses pay the alleged thief the twofold or threefold payment, the amount over and above the double payment, which is what they had conspired to cause him to pay. If only one individual from the last set of witnesses was found to be conspiring witnesses, the second testimony is nullified, as it was not submitted by two valid witnesses, whereas the first testimony remains intact. If one individual from the first set of witnesses is found to be a conspiring witness, the entire testimony concerning the thief is nullified. The reason is that if there is no theft established by reliable testimony, there is no liability for slaughtering the animal, and there is no liability for selling it. Gemara. One who is rendered a conspiring witness, an eid zomim, is barred from providing testimony in the future. The Gemara cites a fundamental dispute with regard to this disqualification. It was stated concerning a conspiring witness, Abaye says, he is disqualified retroactively, the mafreyahu nifsal, from when he provided the testimony. Any testimony he may have provided after that point in time is retroactively nullified. Rava says he is disqualified only from that point forward. In other words, from when he established to be a conspiring witness, but not retroactively from when he provided his testimony. The Gemara explains the reasons for these two opinions. Abaye says that he is disqualified retroactively because it is from that time when he testified that he is considered a wicked man, as the Torah said, "Do not put your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness," Exodus 23:1, which is interpreted to mean, do not allow a wicked man to serve as a witness. Rava says that he is disqualified only from that point forward because the disqualification of a conspiring witness is a novelty. In other words, it is not based on logic. The reason that this is a case of two witnesses against two other witnesses, in which case neither testimony should be accepted. What did you see that caused you to listen to the second set of witnesses who testify that the first set were not at the scene of the purported event? You could instead listen to the first set of witnesses who testified to the event and disbelieve the second set. Yet the Torah teaches that the second set of witnesses is always deemed credible, and the first set is subjected to punishment as conspiring witnesses. Therefore, as the disqualification of the conspiring witness is an anomaly, you have the right to disqualify them only from the time of the novelty and onward. In other words, this is counterintuitive disqualification is not applied retroactively. This counterintuitive disqualification is not applied retroactively. There are those who say that Rava also holds like Abaye, who says that by rights as a conspiring witness should be disqualified retroactively from when he provided his testimony, and here this is Rava's reason for not disqualifying him retroactively.